Hey, welcome to our very first stats video, statistics, and just a couple definitions today. It should be very quick, short and sweet, I hope. First of all, definition of statistics: the science of planning studies and experiments, obtaining data, then organizing, summarizing, presenting, analyzing, and interpreting. That's a lot of stuff. Those data and then drawing conclusions based on them. Notice I put those different colors. Really, we're going to have three parts to our class. The blue part, what we'll do first, where we plan studies and experiments and how we get the data. Then we're going to organize them, summarize them, present them, analyze them, and last of all, we're going to interpret them and draw conclusions from what we found. So that's pretty much what stats is, those four areas. Data is just a collection of observations, measurements, genders, responses to surveys, stuff such as height, weight, age, political affiliation, how many texts you send per day, how many steps you walk per day, are you married or single, stuff like that. Any kind of observation or measurement is what data is. All right, two types of stats that we're going to deal with this year. One is called descriptive. That's what we're going to deal with the first semester pretty much. The second type is inferential, and we'll get to that a little bit later. We're going to use the descriptive to get to infer things or to get there. Descriptive stats involve two different types of people or things. One is called population, the other is sample. Population is everything you want to study, the whole entire population. For example, every male in North America, every female at Webb School, every teenager in Knox County, the whole population. Obviously, it's hard to talk to the whole population, so instead of talking to the population or interviewing them or surveying them, oftentimes we just take a sample. So a sample is just a small part of the population. A parameter is a statistic about the population, like the mean, median, and mode that describes the population. A statistic, and this is not the name of the course, it's a different statistic. A statistic describes a sample. So a parameter describes what the population is. A statistic describes what the sample is. And you kind of remember they kind of go together. Population, parameter. Both start with P's. Sample and statistic. Both start with S's, and they measure each. The statistic measures a sample as something from a sample. A parameter is from population. A census, the last word today, a census, is a number that describes the entire population also. So it means you can interview the entire population. The United States takes a census every few years of everything, and that's what a census is, when you can interview every single person in the population. Doesn't happen very often. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take our descriptive statistics, and once we can find our stats from a sample or population, we're going to use those to infer something about the population or to make a conclusion about part of the population. So that's where we're going with this, even though I can't find it. And this last slide, right there, I'm going to put up here a lot. We're going to talk about this more as the year goes on, but I want you to drill this in your head. Correlation does not imply causation, which means just because two things are related does not mean one thing caused the other. And we'll talk about that over and over and over again. So hopefully it wasn't too bad for your first video. See you in class tomorrow, and we'll work on a few problems based on these words. See you then.